Okay. Well, there you go.
Okay. Now I'm going to go. We should be live, by the way. I'm going to go upstairs and make a protein shake. So take it away.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna check
The
YouTube.
worst.
I'm gonna check YouTube to see if it's live.
This is why I shouldn't be the streamer.
Okay, let me just confirm that we're live and like not muted and the visuals aren't showing our DMs or something. Who knows with you?
I do.
It looks like we're good.
Perfect.
Yeah, it looks like everyone can be heard.
Okay.
Or at least I heard me. I don't know if Kamui could be heard, but I'm assuming his microphone is on.
I assume so as well.
I'm sure the YouTube comments will let us know, the YouTube comments, that we likely won't be checking very often.
Indeed.
Yeah, I can see it. It's at least it says upcoming on the next slide.
Yeah. If you can check the comments on that, you honestly are probably the best person to do that.
Okay, yeah, let me just
the card.
let me just mute.
Where you are.
Let's mute. There we go.
Okay.
See, Paladin99 says, yeah, pretty much everyone always says, oh, the curse mark, where you made it that he made the other choices of his own free will.
That's interesting, the curse mark.
I think it might be referenced about how, oh, the curse mark affected his choices, but it's like, oh, every choice he made was his own free will. I think that's what it's referenced to.
Okay, yeah. I think it's interesting. If you've like kept up with the Mr. Beast drama, I know, random segue to that. I think it's similar to where one of the like the controversies is with someone named like Jake Weddle, who he had like a challenge to stay in like isolation or whatever for like as many days as he could or whatever. And like towards the end, obviously like it's a challenge, so Mr. Beast was making it hard, but he was like making it too hard. And now, like, Jake Weddle had, like, mental problems. And, like, people are, like, saying, oh, well, he can't be doing these things. It's like, he's peer pressuring him. But then the other side's like, well, he had the choice to leave at any time. So, which side do you go with? I think there's nuance there for both sides, obviously. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will admit, whenever I heard Mr. Beast, I always end up thinking of Mr. Beat, the guy who does, like, analysis on presidential elections for some reason.
God, dude.
Yeah,
hilarious.
But I know it's, let's see, this guy called Mr. Beast, who apparently, from my understanding, biggest YouTuber that's now in constant scandals.
Yeah, constant, yeah, non-stop for like 6 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, anyways, back to Sasuke. So I think there's nuance for Sasuke too. If you're gonna argue like the curse mark thing, I didn't even think about that beforehand, honestly. Like, I don't know if Orochimaru was like subconsciously making him do anything when he's absorbed into Sasuke, but I could see that, honestly. The series obviously never touches on it at all, but I could imagine it's possible at least.
Well, what actions do you think would be in contention in the first place? Because honestly, that's when Orochimaru is absorbed is some of Sasuke's most chill behavior in the whole story.
Well,
so,
I'd say the only time
if he's influencing him, he's been a positive influence.
The only time I'd say the curse mark could be influencing him is when he first activated it in the Forest of Death.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
When he was fighting against Naruto. Those are the only times when you could say the curse mark was influencing his choices.
Yeah. Because it's
that first time I could imagine for sure. But even then, Sasuke just woke up from like this crazy nightmare of young Sasuke telling him it's his fault and everything. Like I imagine he woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Two things on that one though is one, in that dream, Orochimaru's in the dream, so there's that. Second, there was too many like visual emphasis points that, from Dosu's perspective and Sakura's perspective, of seeing Orochimaru and Sasuke and his like devious smile as he breaks Sakura's arms. There's no way that isn't one of the examples. Definitely was influenced.
Well, to be fair, he's also waking up to his friends being like destroyed in a fight. He doesn't want that to happen. So.
Still though, like,
Sakura's being a jerk about it as well. It's like, yeah, I did it. What are you gonna do about it, punk? Like if I was Sasuke, I'd be a little perturbed too.
So then, well, what do you think? Okay, I guess maybe that explains why he was so much nicer to Dosu. At least
well, okay, let me give you a comparison. I do like that. Okay, but here's the comparison. When Sasuke woke up then, when he's surrounded by Zaku and everyone else, compared to when he wakes up in the hospital after Itachi, before he like goes to the to Orochimaru, like right before he fights Naruto. I think if you compare those two, like you could like throw the situations, flip flop them. Like, what if Zaku was in the hospital when Sasuke woke up after Itachi? What was Sasuke gonna do then? It's probably the same thing. Or what if nobody
because
was there at the tuning
in
thing?
one case, it's like, so the hospital one, it's clearly frustration and anger motivating him. The other one has a much more malicious feel to it. Like, I don't think there's any
I get that,
skirting around the bush here.
but like Sasuke, when he wakes up in the hospital, he's like scared and stuff, and it's only after Sakura hugs him that he's really like void of like all emotion, just calm as can be for a moment. I think the same thing would apply in the Forest of Death. If he woke up, there's no enemies around, just Naruto and Sakura. He's waking up, he's like, oh, Sakura, thanks for hugging me. Now I'm cool. Could be the same thing.
Now, granted, Sasuke immediately got angry when he saw saw Naruto properly because over the over part one, there's been a bit build up of him getting frustrated with Naruto's growth, and then of course came Itachi, who the person that he's been hunting for this entire time has pretty much devoted his life to try and killing. At the moment, says he has no interest in him whatsoever, and instead is interested in Naruto, which arguably was the first for Naruto, because without part one, everyone was more interested in Sasuke, be it Gaara, Neji, Orochimaru, all those people. Everyone thought like, oh, he's the big shot, he's the one to take down. They don't pay mind to Naruto, which I suppose you could argue interested in Naruto, and that's like the one person's attention he wants is actually paying attention to Naruto in a sense.
Yeah. I think there's also a lot of context between those two events anyways. For example, in one compared to the other, Sasuke just doesn't know that Orochimaru is strong and can kill the third Hokage, and that Itachi's going to come to the village and put him in a Tsukiyomi dream again and whisper, "You're too weak," and see Naruto summon Gambuta and a ton of other things. It's a lot of factors leading to Sasuke being more frustrated in one instance than the other. But to be fair, I feel like Naruto is also sort of leading Sasuke on when he woke up in the hospital room. I feel like Naruto is really the instigator there. I'd have to go back and double check, but like, why does Sasuke slap the apples out of Sakura's hands? Was it because Naruto said something?
I don't think
that he
Naruto
got frustrated
did
there?
anything. I think he just like said like, glad you're okay or something. Like he was just, I'll double check right now, but I think he was just like checking on Sasuke, and that just annoyed Sasuke. Like don't act like you're better than me kind of thing.
Yeah. This is clearly he was starting to get his jealousy of Naruto starting to cross the line, where he ended up started to treat Sakura like crap.
Look. Naruto peeps into the room. Oh, actually, let me back up here. I should share my screen for you guys too. Okay. Go one more chapter. So this is gonna be mostly Rock Lee and. Okay. So Sakura and Sasuke, they're here. Sasuke's thinking about Itachi and Naruto. Sakura just gives him some apples. He's already pissed. Naruto's not even there. Then Naruto's gonna peep in through the room in a second after talking to Ruka. Okay, Naruto peeps in his room. Sasuke just glares at him. He's like, What? Why are you staring at me like that? Fight me, Naruto. like, what are you talking about? Shut up and fight me. So yeah, like Naruto was not the instigator there.
Yeah, I mean, but see, Naruto was just down for it because he always wanted to fight Sasuke and prove his worth, and that put him. And unfortunately, he did not realize just what Sasuke is going through right now. It's just that he's been so busy training with the Rasengan, dealing with Akatsuki, Orochimaru, and all that kind of stuff at the last arc. He has no idea what Sasuke is mentally going through at the moment.
He was also, this is actually a good interesting what if that I'll ask after, but Naruto was kept in the dark about all the curse mark Orochimaru shenanigans with Sasuke for the most part there. So good question is, when Naruto first noticed those marks on Sasuke, if Sakura had just told him the truth right then and there, so Naruto going into the rest of the story just already knows what those marks are, why they're there, who put them there, and everything. Then he meets Orochimaru and search for Tsunade and stuff, so he's got a way better understanding. Coming into the Sasuke retrieval arc, do you think that would have changed any of Naruto's thoughts, behaviors, and actions, or do you think it would go basically exactly the same?
I think it'd be very possible. By the way, I think Space is doing a wave hand thing in the audience thing. I'm not sure if he's asking for something, but might be messaging. I think Duck says hi, but yeah. But I think if Naruto knew all that, I think he might, be a bit reluctant to try and accept Sasuke's challenge to fight. He said, okay, maybe, calm down a bit, and maybe we'll fight afterwards. You just got up, and I think you're going through some things. Let's see. As I think he might be
tough though, because I feel like that's also not a Naruto thing to say. So I don't know. I feel like because, for example, his conversation with Sakura in the ramen shop, that's basically the first time Naruto's hearing about this, and he's just like, Sasuke will be fine. But if he had known earlier and seen the changes earlier, I could see that maybe shifting his perspective.
Yeah, but I think it could be a possibility, but it could also be possible that Sasuke just manages to egg him on. He's like, all right, fine, I'll give you your bloody fight or something.
Yeah, Naruto also could have just had the same thought process he had with Sakura, to where even though he knows in advance, he may have still thought, there's just no way Sasuke would, do that.
Let's see. I see it.
He also didn't see him in the Forest of Death either. That's another interesting question. Okay, this is really small, and I'm not sure that this actually would change anything, but do you think any changes would result from Naruto seeing Sasuke fight Zaku with the curse mark? If you actually watched it all.
I definitely think he'd definitely be a bit concerned about Sasuke's mental state.
Okay,
do you think
that
would also egg Naruto on to get stronger, even more so than he already was?
I'm assuming you can hear me now. Sup? By the way, okay, since you guys, I guess, couldn't hear me earlier, so my thoughts on the Naruto situation, if Naruto knew about the curse mark earlier, I think, if anything, there's no change, but really, I think more than that, I'm going to double down and say it's the opposite. I think Naruto's going to be worse in this case, because I think it's similar to what Kamui was saying. First of all, I don't think it's in Naruto's character to say something like what you guys were saying earlier. I think that's more like a Shikamaru thing to say, calm down, then we'll decide what to do. Especially part 1 Naruto in particular, I think is way more like this. And part 1 Naruto, you could argue this is his mistake or flaw going into the Sasuke retrieval arc, but I think he would be assuming, since Sasuke is his rival and top of the class and all this other genius elite prodigy nonsense, that Sasuke is better than this and that he'll overcome Orochimaru, because how could he do that if he's Naruto's rival? It's like how can I become Hokage if I can't even save a single friend? He's basically just applying that to Sasuke, and in this case, he would just be wrong. So I feel like, if anything, he'd be double down because of the frustration that clearly it's not going like that. It's similar to what he'd be saying at the beginning of the Sasuke and Naruto fight at the end of part 1. It's like, what's wrong with you? Snap out of it already. Stuff like that. It's like, you're better than this, Sasuke. That's what I think he would do. Just more than he was, even.
By the way, to answer Space's question, do I think Obito started a war over Rin? No, I think Rin is definitely one of the biggest motivating factors for his actions, but I'm pretty much certain that he started the war because he felt like, okay, let's see, the 5 Kages have started to make a move. Time to go, if you will.
Really?
Hold on, BlueStar. Why are you saying that? If you look at my screen, Obito kind of just spells it out.
Because when was the last time you read the work? If you remember, they had this conversation in Kamui,
where Obito says, it's like Kakashi's asking him about Rin and why he started the war and all that, and then this is Obito's response.
Oh yeah.
If you want to like
go ahead
out
and read
loud.
that out.
Oh yeah, I remember it saying, oh yes, if you think I started this war just over that Rin, you would be a massive understatement. I remember when this chapter came out, people were like, okay, is that the case? And then when the whole Rin being a free Tails Jinchuriki thing, people said, oh wait, no, this still feels like you're starting the war over Rin.
Well, yeah, like he says, if you think I started this war over just you and Rin, that would be a massive understatement. So he's saying, like, not only did I start this war over you and Rin, I really started this war over you and Rin.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
I might have misread that word.
That's fair. Yeah. No, it's understandable because he's like almost doing like a double negative weirdly, but yeah.
Personally, if I was to ever rewrite, this scene, I'd probably make it that the reason why Obito did this whole stuff about Rin is that when Rin was captured and became the Three Tails Jinchuriki, not only did it's like when all that stuff happened, the Leaf Village sort of abandoned her, left her to her fate, or they was just planning to kill her anyway. And in that way, in Obito's eyes, with the whole those who break the rules are scum, but those who betray their comrades are even worse than scum. That way, for Obito in his mindset, the Leaf are worse than scum because they allowed Rin to die or something.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Why not?
I kind of looked at it like Sade or and Akashi. They're dying like that.
I mean, it's really weird because you'd expect Obito to say like the exact opposite, considering all the like defenders of Obito basically trying to make it out to be. But like the scan is like really blatant and just like straight from the manga. So like I don't know.
Anyway, we did discuss about Sasuke, so.
But you see, we are not. But see, the Naruto, the dad lighting Naruto, he died like us.
That's true. Naruto is a gaslighting terrorist, as we know. I've proven this several times in the past, so I'm glad that Space brought that up. That is another piece of the puzzle here.
Anyway, Yeah, what talk about that? What about how Naruto forced Obito to feel bad? What talk about that?
Anyway, let's see. I think we should probably move back to the topic on Sasuke.
Yeah. So Kamui, by the way, should we do the aftermath of that topic or?
To be honest, I find the whole Naruto's age graduation thing throughout Naruto inconsistent. Since it's
there's a lot of weird things with that.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think to me this shows that Kishimoto did not really plan this too far ahead in the future.
Well, honestly. We've had this conversation with Sage of the Cows before, but if I could probably find this real quick. I would say, though, in my personal opinion, I know that he kind of sided with more like just go with the manga retcon and assume the data book's wrong route. But if I had to pick, honestly, just ignore this panel. This is the problem that makes no sense, because it makes perfectly fine sense if you just ignore this chapter. Then the data book gauges, the way everyone looks, everything that's stated in the story makes sense. It's just weird when you include this chapter. So I would just say just ignore this. It's just filler.
Unfortunately, it's like this part is like key because it's the chapter revealing Obito and giving you an idea of what he's like.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think if it wasn't for that one line of Kakashi saying to Ruka, I was half their age when I became a Chunin or something. I think.
Well, exactly. But here's the thing: they don't like Kakashi doesn't look like a 6-year-old in this chapter. He looks like the 12-year-olds he's fighting against. That's why.
Yeah.
Like it just.
This
chapter is the problem.
Yeah.
Also, 3-year-old Onko.
But I mean, can we do that for a modern anime in general?
I think the biggest thing is that Kishimoto just needed to retcon all this because he's like, okay, I need to draw closer parallels to Naruto and Obito because that's what I'm doing for the story. and he did not think of the long-term consequences of inconsistency as a result.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's more so
Which-
like, I mean, at the end of the day, ignoring all the other surrounding stuff, this is definitely the coolest way to do this Obito reveal, by having him take the Chunin exams with Kakashi, by having all these cameos like Guy, Ebisu, Hayate, Anko, everyone just is in this exam. Like, it's definitely way cooler this way. It just makes no sense when you consider literally everything else.
Well, I want to add on to that. Unlike Two Blue Vortex, this doesn't ruin any of the impact that they were going for. The Obito reveal is good, despite these inconsistencies that are unrelated to the impact of the Obito reveal. It's just goofy other inconsistencies that aren't actually all that bad. Unlike Two Blue Vortex, where it not only is bad, but it's actively, directly intertwined with the story itself. Obito's age as a kid doesn't matter to Obito's reveal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so in one case, and I mean, this is, like you said, like, this is the common case with a lot of these, like, goofy things that make no sense that we point out. Like, a lot of the Naruto examples, they're just goofy. That's it. Yeah. Whereas the Naruto one, sometimes it's just like, okay, this is actually becoming a problem. Because that was like, the whole story's not making sense.
So should we get back to like Sasuke being let's see what you put as the worst character in Naruto, Kage Summit Arc?
Whoa.
Yeah, we can get to the main topic since you only have like an hour and a half.
We all know Dai and I will not agree with that.
Well,
it is the title of the stream.
Okay. BlueStar, did you want to take it away, or do you want me to give like some other context first for this?
I would
Do you
like
have
context.
any topics written down for if I search BlueStar?
Okay, basically, I think let's see. When it comes to like Sasuke throughout, let's see, part one, you've got like the sort of rise and fall of him, of like, let's see, being tempted to power to learn Orochimaru after getting frustrated with Naruto's growth, and then Itachi more interested in Naruto than him. Okay, that makes sense of why he ended up going the way he did. And in like throughout Naruto, let's see, first half of Shippuden, pretty much, he's hellbent on let's see, getting Itachi, with the only really inconsistency thing of him just trying to kill perhaps maybe Naruto in the Tenchi Bridge arc, if that's what some people say.
Yeah, no, I agree
but
with that. Inconsistency doesn't make any sense.
Let's see, but other than that, let's see, Sasuke has pretty much been like the anti-hero of like okay, he only wants to kill Itachi, he won't kill anyone else, so he tries to avoid killing anyone else, except maybe like Dedra, but Dedra blows himself up, so that's the only other time someone dies when fighting him. And then he manages to kill his brother, but then learns the whole truth about, well, the Uchiha clan massacre, what actually happened with his brother, Danzo and the elders being behind it. He now says he now seeks revenge by destroying Kohona, but then the next time we see him, he's saying that, no, I just want to kill the elders, but Obito, or Toby at the time, or Madara, depending on how you want to say it, offers him that, I'll give you a tailed beast in order to use that to distract the nation, the village, while you go and kill the elders. And for the most part, you see, he still seems to be the same. He even seems to still care for like his like comrades that are both new and old, with like the Battle of the Eight Tails, when he ends up briefly thinking about them, but see probably for the first time in part 2.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I mentioned that last night too. It's such a small detail. Everyone forgets that.
Yeah. And but then when he seems to bring like Killer Bee, that's actually just a substitute, it's a tentacle. It's actually revealed that in a private meeting with Obito, that or Madara, or Obito at the time, he actually wants to kill everyone in the village, not just the elders. Everyone, regardless of their involvement, thinks that they're all guilty by association or whatever, and that they need to be cleansed to purify the Uchiha name, if you will, and just lied in front of his like teammates because he doesn't want them to immorally question his ethics. He's gone, of course, to go to the Konoha after like the pain arc, but of course Obito stops him and reveals that the village is already destroyed. Danzo's been made Hokage, but he's going to the Kage Summit, saying that this is arguably your best chance to try and kill Danzo. And as a result, you see him there. And as we see him in the Kage Summit, he gets more and more darker. Let's see, some rather quickly and perhaps randomly starting killing people that he never killed before. fighting the Kages, mostly getting his butt kicked because he's fighting all of them at once. And then afterwards, Madara Obito brings him before Danzo, learns that, okay, everything that Ritzy was said was true, gets more and more angry, tries to kill him multiple times, until eventually he gets a shot opportunity, but Karin is held as a hostage, casts her aside just to kill him. Ritzy is then targeting the Leaf next, but is Ritzy advised by Obito to kill Karin. But Sakura arrives to Ritzy try and kill him by first trying to trick him at first, but if I had to guess, Sasuke does not buy it at all, at the very least, or doesn't care regardless. He's just planning to kill her, but gets interrupted by Kakashi. Really starts getting insane as he starts laughing like a maniac, and then his eyes start getting weakened, and Sakura tries to kill him one last time, but cannot bring herself to do it. He tries to kill her last time, but then Naruto arrives intervening. They have a brief clash with Naruto just talking about how he's got his answer, like the next time they fight, they both die, so just direct all your hatred at him, and he decides that, alright, fine, I'll kill you first, and then I'll crush the village, and then finally asks Obito to give him his brother's eyes, as he just wants to kill Naruto in full force. That's basically Sasuke's entire story throughout the Kage Summit, which, for better or worse.
Yep. And then there's a whole
Wow,
bunch of
that was
other
fun.
stuff in the war. But we can hold it there. So,
I don't know what
go
order
ahead, Kamui.
I don't know what order.
Well,
to go.
I got an idea. So first of all, a lot of people don't like Sasuke's direction after killing Itachi and learning the truth about him. That's where a lot of people start having issues for Sasuke, for the people that do. I'm curious, BlueStar, if you have any writing problems in particular for Sasuke from part 1 or even from earlier Shippuden.
I think part 1 I think is fine, though granted I probably would have preferred if there was like maybe an arc or two more where Naruto and Sasuke could have bonded and built up their friendship more to make it a bit more believable.
Everyone says that as well.
Yeah. The other thing, I guess, maybe Sasuke shouldn't be the one that's trying to kill Naruto in like the Tenchi Bridge instead. I guess for once, one thing I might agree with Daigo Knight's rewrite, though I do not agree with Hinata being a root armor agent. I think that's stupid. But
spoilers.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't really care if I spoil that.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. But one thing I probably do like is that maybe Orochimaru considers, but then Sasuke says, "No, wait, let them live," just because they might kill more Akatsuki's, and that will get them out of our way, of our goal. Okay, that I can possibly see. But I guess for let's see, the Itachi Pursuit arc, I think it's fine. Let's see, the only thing I think that's an issue is I think you've been told all the stuff, and I can understandable, you would probably want to kill the elders, but it's like, at the moment, you've not really been given any proof, any physical proof that this is the case. For all you know, this masked man who is also a part of the massacre is lying to you completely to try and get you to clash with Kahona. At the very least, I think if I was you, Sasuke, I would be trying to find some evidence, at least confirms that this is the case. Not just like a sort of gut feeling.
This might
maybe.
Someone?
I have a question. Just let you finish. I think this is gonna work really well by asking.
Okay.
Unless
you
BlueStar
ask it now? I think it's done.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
Yeah.
So this is gonna keep most the idea the same, just like a slight tweak, really. I would say anyway. Not too big. Heard if
you're sounding a little static and something wrong?
Yeah, I'm glad that's not just me. Kamui, you're cutting out, in case you don't know.
Yeah, just me. No, I didn't Tom
It's fucking annoying sometimes. Come downstairs. Hopefully I want to talk again for 5 minutes. Alright. So I don't know how much you heard.
Like, none of it.
None of it. Say it again.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh yeah, some comments from like that was not read out from YouTube. Yeah, I'll probably say for the time being. Paul 99 says, "Do you all want the third hot gate actually hitting Naruto hot takes to come to me?" And then he says, "Sasuke was living in a high, basically penthouse, where was Naruto living in a rundown apartment and what people call the red white district." Then he's deleted this other message. Someone called Arashi Kage says hi. Demo 6792 says, "Bro, what's the deal with your old audio?" And Power 99 says, "Can you link your channels after the stream?" He goes like, "Hey guys, here's a question of who had the biggest to destroy the village, Naruto or Sasuke?" I think he's implying who had the biggest reasons to destroy the village, Naruto or Sasuke.
Okay. Definitely Sasuke, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because Danzo sucked. Like, if anything, Hiruzen stopped Danzo from making Naruto's life suck worse. Like, this village is good for Naruto, and that's just didn't know it.
No,
Everything
I will
just
admit.
sucked.
Yeah. Granted, I will admit one thing I think was always a bit of a missed opportunity is having Naruto ever interacting with Danzo, and then you get like all this stuff later, like that Itachi novel. It's like, oh, the reason why everyone knows that he's the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki is because he leaked that intel. It's like, you'd think that would cause him to have a bit of a personal grudge against Danzo.
Oh, you know what? I got a small rewrite. So ignoring Daigo's rewrite to where we just introduced Danzo early, I'm going to do it in like a canon way. Just have in episode 1, Danzo tells Mizuki. And that's why Mizuki waits to act until now, because he just found out from Danzo. Perfect.
Oh, you know it'd be a cool what if? If Naruto and Sasuke fought Danzo instead.
See, that's what I'm saying. They should have had something like that for a final fight with Itachi or the Nine-Tails.
Now with
Just
Danzo,
with it.
everybody hates him.
Not with Danzo.
No.
Just have
Yeah,
Danzo
not with
plays Kaguya.
Well, real quick, that's another weird thing. Sasuke, the lone Avenger who wants to fight Itachi alone and wants to be lonely because he's alone, and an Avenger, he's randomly choosing Team Taka to go with him to not fight Itachi, and then he's fighting with Team Taka in the Kage Summit, but then ignoring them entirely, and then he just goes on his own after but then he's staying with Obito as well. Why? I understand Sasuke gave his reasoning for why he went to go capture Killer Bee. I disagree. I don't think that's something Sasuke would have come to in terms of an idea. He just wouldn't have done that. I don't think he would have.
My understanding is that Taka was created because Yahagi said it'd be boring if Sasuke was just by himself, and said that he needed to create a team around him to make things more interesting. So I think that's how Taka was created.
Not only that, though, there's also like it's kind of like revealed at the end. It's like they're there for any interference. So Kisame gets in the way. Okay, you three fight him while I fight Itachi.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
Like the main reason.
Arguably, I think I probably would have preferred if we at least got some glimpses of like Taka versus Kisame, or even perhaps maybe even having Taka, Kisame, and Toby versus like the 8-man squad. At least that gives them all something to do.
Yeah, I'm fine with it early on to go fight Itachi or whatever for the intervene. It's just making more sure your lifelong goal gets fulfilled. I'm sure if Naruto needed to do something to become Hokage, he would have taken care of that contingency as well. My problem is more so with Obito. It just makes no sense. Like BlueStar was saying, for him to just trust him and just team up with him and do what he says, and then afterwards discard him like he was never his teammate in the first place. He just randomly betrays him. I don't care what you say, Kamui. That made no sense.
No, I
mean,
agree.
maybe
like,
how they were always
some
planning.
aspects I understand. Like,
I thought we talked about that before.
So here's what I'll say: the parts that do and don't make sense. Okay, so the part that doesn't make sense. Why does he the stupid tail beast proposal? Sasuke, no, he doesn't have a use for one of the tail beasts. That's just weird. Like, agree to that. However, the gimme like Itachi's eyes team up after 5 Kage, I mean, that makes sense. He's blind, he needs the eyes, blah blah blah. That makes sense. But then it's weird how he just both Obito and Sasuke just ditch each other and just don't say anything about it.
Yeah.
But nobody.
Yeah.
Obito's
like,
not even like, Oh, you betrayed me again, huh? No, he just doesn't even address it.
Obito wanted Naruto to fight Sasuke. That was like his whole life goal in the 5 Kage Summit Arc. For some reason, unexplained, just doesn't make sense again.
Yeah,
Because,
they
I don't know,
just like don't.
I don't know, because it's not the Obito one that had him to die by shot the hand for whatever reason.
Well, okay, let's keep in mind, Sasuke wanted to kill Naruto. What was Obito gonna do if the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki dies and can't be put in the Ghetto Mazo for years? Why?
I mean, maybe Obito didn't tell. Maybe he was patient enough to wait for a few more years.
Like a decade
Stupid. He
or so.
really wants to do that, though.
Yeah, exactly. He was already.
be,
He says, "Let's put a rush on Project Suki no Me at the beginning of." Oh my God, puppy! No, buddy, stop it.
Yeah.
But
He wanted to put a rush on it, and then so letting Sasuke kill Naruto is the opposite of that.
I'd say
Yeah.
it's possible that he was planning to set up a fight between them, and then just before Sasuke kills Naruto, he intervenes and just to make sure that Naruto's unable to fight back, and then captures him, and then uses Sasuke for the Ghetto Mazo statue because apparently that was his plan. But then again, it seems
This was fun.
the biggest problem is that I think that Kishimoto's writing with Sasuke is so inconsistent because he has Obito have this one plan for him and then another, and he has Sasuke act this one way or another, and he just seems to not figure out what he wants to do with Sasuke at this point, because I think he knows that his end goal is to have Naruto and Sasuke fight each other at the end, but he has not set up how he's going to do that as the end game thing. And as a result, I think he went like the whole dark thing with like at first, because it's like, okay, let's see, the whole Uchiha Massacre and the host Dark Sasuke. He needs a reason to have Sasuke be hostile, so Naruto and him would have a fight, but then realize that Sasuke's become too hostile and too dark, to the point that he's in the point of no return that, okay, he can never go back to the village. So it's like, Naruto can never really bring him back, but it's like, okay, I need to do all the stuff with Itachi coming in. Let's see, and then change his mindset a bit, and then, and then get that final fight. It's basically, I think, Kishimoto did not really plan out how to get to that final Naruto versus Sasuke fight, perhaps even considered, should that be the final fight if the way I'm writing Sasuke as a character?
No, he did. From the very beginning, before he even wrote Chapter 1, he somehow, apparently, knew that he wanted the final fight to be Naruto and Sasuke. He should have been working backwards since he knew that was going to be the ending, despite apparently his editor creating Sasuke in Chapter 3. So I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. But he should have definitely had that in mind and been working towards that the entire time. Which in Part 1, it feels like he absolutely is. I don't know what happened in Part 2, but...
Yeah, honestly, it seems like he built up Part 1 quite well, and sometimes I'm wondering if sometimes he's like, okay, you did this with Part 1, makes me think, okay, it was so popular in Part 1, why I make this also the ending for Part 2? Sometimes I'm just thinking like, oh, that's going to be the final fight because it was so popular in Part 1. And he's just lying that, oh, he's planned this all from the beginning.
It feels almost forced how rushed it is. Like, there's no reason for Naruto and Sasuke to go to the final valley for their final fight. They just do it because Kishimoto needed them to.
Yeah, it's just like, he's just doing like the more nostalgia thing. It's like, I could have had their fight anywhere. Pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah. In some ways, this is why I think probably agree with more people saying that Oda is a bit more of a master planner than Kishimoto when it comes to the whole One Piece versus Naruto debate.
Yeah.
So,
I guess back to Naruto. So Sasuke, what more do we have to say on him?
Let's see.
There was something I was gonna say a while earlier. I'm trying to remember. Caught up with cleaning puppy pee for a while.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
So now I'm trying to remember what I was going to say at the time, but so really backtracking with your. Oh, that's right. Because I was looking at the Obito Sasuke conversation. One advantage with your version would be, like you mentioned, the kind of complete 180 thing. This just really doubles down on that.
Again, that's not like a big thing. That's just a singular moment, but it's a really cool, standout, iconic moment, in my opinion.
In either case, though, I got a new question. So that Obito Sasuke scene where they're in the ramen shop or wherever they are, the tea shop, and the villagers are laughing and stuff. Instead of having that just be a random ass flashback in the Kabuto fight, do you think this should have just been in real time, in the moment, like right after the truth?
Are you sure it's in the Kabuto fight? I thought
Yeah, I
it
already
wasn't. I
caught
thought it was in
It
real
is,
time way
it
early.
is.
It's in the
I don't know,
Kabuto fight? What do you mean it's in the like in the war arc? The Sasuke and Itachi Kabuto fight to stop the Edo Tensei. It's there?
Yeah, so
Yes.
the reason why
There's
is
not a
because
shit. How?
so Kabuto's
Okay, you're right. It should be somewhere else.
Yeah, so Kabuto's like
okay.
getting at like, hey, you know,
What?
I want to destroy the village just like you. It's Orochimaru want to do it. I'm doing it too.
Crazy.
We're the same. And then he thinks about that
How?
scene and he says like, you know, we're not the same. My operation destroy Konoha is different than yours. Blah blah blah.
Bruh.
But like,
Okay.
you could have just had a different flashback. Like, you just have him have a 2-panel
Yeah.
flashback to something else, like when he's crying.
He's already having a
For example.
billion flashbacks of Sasuke and Itachi hunting with their bow and arrows. Just do another one of those.
Yeah. So like,
It's like, hey, okay, maybe this is just a hot take. I think once Obito gets his white mask for the war arc, you should never, ever flash back to Orange Mask Obito ever again. You should never see him in that form ever again.
Wait, why?
It's just
How come?
unnecessary. It's like the final villain. You just want to see him in his true glory, his final form. Obviously, like there's Jubito, but you know what I mean. It's like going into the final confrontation of this great war, the final antagonist, basically. You don't want to like see him from the past randomly in a weaker form that's clearly visually identifiable in that kind of way for a random flashback that doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense where it is.
because off the
And
top
It's
of
like
my head,
imagine-
I agree.
off the top of my head,
Imagine
I'm
in like
agree.
Imagine in Avatar: The Last Airbender, for those that have seen it, when Aang is fighting Ozai in the finale, you just get a flashback to like season 1 Ozai with him like shrouded in the darkness of the shadows or whatever, randomly for no reason. It's like, no.
Yeah,
Off the
you
top of
don't.
Here's
my
I mean-
Ozai, we see him. His
There's only
reveal was
two-
the important part there at the beginning of season 3. Like, they're doing that for a reason. The creators themselves obviously confirmed it if it wasn't obvious enough, but yeah.
There's
Sorry,
only-
that's my rant.
There's
I
only
did
2
that.
scenes I can think of where they do the orange mask thing. One is this one. The other one's when Itachi's like, "You'll become just like Madara," and I think it might show the orange
Yeah.
mask. That one's fine.
They
That's
do,
all Naruto's scene.
But, yeah.
But like this one, yeah,
Exactly.
just put this scene in real time, like 5 Kage
Mhm.
Summit or the Itachi Pursuit arc. Just one of those 2 arcs. Just put it in there.
Yeah, that one's important because it was about that version of Madara, quote unquote, rather than the new version. Like, the new version is different from that version anyways. So.
Yeah.
See,
Are they?
the other thing I should say, maybe if you want to talk about Sasuke's power set in the Kage Summit arc.
Okay.
See, because I think some people found some of it to be either broken or ass pulls, or that came out of nowhere. One example being Sasuke suddenly able to summon a hawk, despite there being no indication to do that before. I think you even get the manga commenting and like Obito going like, "Okay, when did he have time to do this?"
Well, it's funny how like so here's the problem is on one hand, like both things make sense, but it's weird to do both at the same time. So Sasuke's giving the whole hawk snake speech to Orochimaru when he kills him. That on one hand would be the time he becomes the hawk, but except he doesn't. He remains a snake. He literally copies Orochimaru's jutsu and absorbs him, all that stuff. So he becomes a hawk later on, which makes sense when he casts aside Orochimaru completely. That's when he becomes a hawk. But then why is he giving the hawk speech so early? You can't do both.
Exactly. Which, by the way, side note, his fight with Deidara, he's flying like a hawk. He should have been a hawk at that point. He already killed Orochimaru.
His curse mark literally is a hawk.
Like, the point is he surpassed Orochimaru, who was a snake, because he's a hawk, who is a predator to snakes.
Except he also didn't surpass Orochimaru because Orochimaru was weakened, so he wasn't actually strong.
Yeah.
And the strongest form of Sasuke in the Itachi fight is when Orochimaru comes out.
Makes no sense.
In some ways, perhaps maybe if like there was a flashback during when Sasuke was betraying to Orochimaru, where he revealed that he's secretly been training his own sort of jutsu, and the hawk being one of them, maybe then that could have worked.
But if that's the case, I want the hawk to like eat the snake in the Orochimaru fight or something.
Oh, you know what? He should have summoned it to escape at the Tenchi Bridge arc at the very end instead of the fire away jutsu.
But the fire
Yeah,
jutsu
yeah.
is cool.
That'd been cool, bro.
Okay. That or
Like,
maybe
God,
have
Rich
the hawk.
better.
that maybe have the Hawk save Sasuke from the whole Deidara situation rather than just having that immediately one giant snake thing. Because for many people, that was like the first major ass pull in the series.
Well, I was actually thinking about that the other day. If Sasuke just summoned the Hawk to fly away really quickly instead of, killing my boy Manda. There's no need for that. Just let Manda. There's just no reason to do that.
Yeah.
Justice for Manda.
Like, Manda deserves better. I don't care if he was kind of a grumpy, grouchy. He deserves better.
Kind of.
That was
He's
cool.
got a worse attitude than Taiyuya. He has probably the worst. Worse than any villain, worse than Kakuzu, worse than Zetsu, worse than anyone, bro.
But I love him.
Manda was the most grouchy person ever.
Yeah, anyways, it's interesting because I think Kishimoto in some ways kind of regretted killing Manda because he ended up making Manda 2.0.
Iota?
No, he literally made a Manda
Out
2.
of, yeah. I
Just
think he
Kabuto
probably
made a
did that.
Kyoto.
I think that when he did that, he might have already had the idea, didn't know when to execute, but just the idea of the new Sanin in the war arc with Sasuke summoning Aoda, Naruto summoning Gamakichi, and Sakura just doesn't get anything new, but she still summons Katsuyu.
See, that's the
So
problem.
I got
though.
something new there.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty,
Exactly.
it should have just been Gamabunta because you're gonna keep Katsuyu regardless because there is no new slug, and you could just keep Manda alive and then just have Gamabunta. Or Gamakichi's
It's a
What if-
smaller version of Katsuyu.
What if Katsuyu died during the pain arc? That could work. So you get all three having a new one.
The only problem
See,
though is
I-
Katsuyu the one who feeds Naruto all this information, so who's gonna do that?
Yeah,
no.
just let him be allowed. I mean, it don't
She never summoned all of Katsuyu anyway.
Yeah.
Arguably, you could have just maybe delved more into this sort of lore about Kaiotsu being the only living slug thing, and also the fact that apparently the slug forest is actually a place with this third type of sage chakra, which frankly seems to be implying that Sakura was going to get some sage chakra at some point during the series. It's because it's like, okay, you tease this concept. It's like, are we going to see it? But no, it's not being brought up at all. Not even in Boruto at all. It's like you have this one last third place of sage chakra, and none of the characters who have connections to slugs have used it.
You know what? That might solidify it for me that Hashirama's Sage Mode is probably most likely Slug Sage Mode,
Well,
as weird as it
That's what I
sounds.
thought too.
So I've been over this before. There's a few possibilities. I think the dumbest one is
Yeah,
the
it's
human
monkey,
sage
the
mode. That's a
sun.
meme. It's realistically
Ton of them.
either slug
Human.
sage mode or wood or tree sage mode. It's probably one or the other. Because
Considering, he married Mito, who probably busted off Tsunade, and it's slugs, which heal, which is all Hashirama Sage Mode seems to do anyways, besides the 1,000-armed Buddha statue.
Now, let's see. I really gotta show you my friend chat's let's see, Sakura power up via Hashirama theory. Let's see at some point, but let's see. But yeah, or at least get at some point to join and you talk about it. But yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. But yeah. Take that as you will.
Hold on, did Kakashi ever try to use Susanoo after losing Obito's eyes?
no.
I don't think
Nope.
In the Mirai manga, he used the Mangekyo.
Wait, what?
The Mirai arc. You remember? I've shown you this plenty of times, Kamui. In the Boruto anime, he used the Mangekyo Sharingan.
Is it that?
Oh, that
no,
death.
that. Wait, what do you? I don't know what you're referring to.
You absolutely know what I'm referring to. That
I
impact frame
remember
with
Mirai
Kakashi with the
takes him
Mangekyo.
to Hot Spring.
The
That one?
land of, the
Yeah.
land of steam, Hidan's village.
Yeah, and then Kakashi's reading makeout tactics, and he uses his Mangekyo. You remember, Kamui?
I think that's like an anime filler only kind of joke thing.
It happened. I mean, what's the joke? He used Mangekyo, ha
Wait, hold
ha!
on. Can you show me?
I'm walking, I cannot show you, but you could look it up.
Uh,
Kakashi Mangekyo Boruto probably would work.
Hold on, let me see if I can find that Kakashi.
You've 1,000,000,000% seen this like 20 times, Kamui. I've referenced this like twice a month or something.
Yeah, I just need to like re-see it.
Yeah.
Oh, is it this image? Hold on. Let me just.
Probably. Probably have to post it in chat so you can
Well, just
confirm.
looking at his outfit, is it like this? Maybe.
Let's
Is
see.
it?
Once it loads.
No, that's not.
No.
Okay.
Edit.
Did you look up in Boruto? Well, you could do the Mirai arc or something as well. Well, doesn't look like it's there.
Oh, are you downloading up?
I'll post it later.
I think I've got it here. Let me just share
Okay.
the link. Let me
Yeah.
just
Just put it in chat. Immortal's here too.
Oh,
I mean, there's this thumbnail that we've used. If this is what you mean.
Oh, almost definitely if it's in a thumbnail.
Okay, I've just sent it to the regular chat.
Yeah. BlueStar's got it. It's exactly that. Use the Mangekyo. Can't say you didn't. It's the dual Mangekyo too.
Yeah, I didn't have a joke that joke.
Tell me it's a joke. It's a visual gag. Yeah, you can define visual gag.
Some of them mean ha ha ha.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Were you laughing? Watch.
Alright, I'm just gonna quickly check this with a black screen. Oh my god. Yeah. Why does he do that?
And you guys remember when Kakashi took off Datara's arm? I was busting a gut, let me tell you.
I gotta be honest, I find the Mirai manga adaptation to be better than the animes. For the most part.
Why does he do that, dude? I just watched it. It's like...
Because he has the dual Mangekyo.
Yeah, it's not one, but
I told
two.
you this.
What's going on, everybody?
Immortal! Hey, Immortal.
What's going on?
Immortal, you remember when Kakashi used the dual Mangekyo in Boruto?
In Boruto?
Yeah.
No,
Look, here.
maybe in Naruto, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
why don't you watch it right now?
About
Look at my
Boruto.
screen.
If you're talking about
Weird,
the... Oh, you're talking about that. Oh, you're talking about the
Yeah,
Mirai,
when he used the
arc.
dual Mangekyo in Boruto.
I have to wonder if
I
anything
thought it
that
was pretty
happened...
This
clear.
in the manga
Just thinking
version
stuttered.
too.
Did anything that happened
not
in
a
the
chance.
Mirai... Okay, the Mirai... Is the Mirai manga canon to the actual storyline?
Yes.
If you ask the producers, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, is Mirai filler now, Kamui? Is the Akatsuki suppression arc, did that just not happen? I understand Kishimoto was rushed towards the end, but that just doesn't negate the whole arc.
I mean, I kind of lost interest in the Mirai manga after chapter 1.
I only read the
What?
first chapter
Chapter
too.
1 was like the best chapter. It was completely
I know, but-
original. It literally followed Kakashi. It was even about Mirai.
Yeah,
But
I
just
know,
got
but it was
behind.
like...
I never
I was just there
got
for...
around to finishing it.
I was
Same with
only-
Sasuke Retsuden. I only read the first chapter.
I was just there for... I was there for Kakashi, guy. I was there for...
Well, you got it. Yeah, it's like the first half of the entire arc anyways.
Yeah, that's really what I'm there for too.
Speaking of gods, how many gods do we know of that exist in the Naruto universe plus the Boruto universe? Like
Depends on what you
the
mean.
Reaper Death God is one of them. Well, the Reaper Death God, which is, I don't know if would you consider that an actual god in the
Well,
verse?
again, it depends on what you mean by that, because is it just anything that's called a god? Are we counting?
Yeah.
Well, I would say, yeah, anything that's
Okay.
called a god.
Okay, Reaper Death
So-
Seal, Kaguya, Hagoromo, Shibai, Jashin. There's 5
Kaguya,
for sure.
Shibai, Jashin.
Add 7 or 8 on there for all of the paths of pain, plus Nagato, and I think Yahiko says it.
Or if you could count Madara when Gaara asks, "Is this the power of a god?" and then Hashirama for the god of Shinobi. That's 10.
I think there's also the god of death mentioned at some point.
the
Is
god
Lady
of death.
Luck a goddess?
Never.
We should actually do it. We should actually do
Judging
like a
is
ranking.
like really only
Ranking of the gods.
that
Yeah.
we have, to be honest.
We should do a video of
every
ranking.
Wait, wait, no,
Wait,
in
what
the
about
anime,
Shikamaru?
apparently
Because
only.
now Hedon's god.
I guess concluding the more Sasuke stuff now.
Yeah. So I think you should take the way now, though. So we'll let you bring up a point, and then we'll try to come up with like some potential solutions to like mitigate it.
Yeah.
Unless everyone
Also,
else-
I know it is getting late for you, so like if this takes a long time, and if you need to go at any point, feel free. Don't feel like we're holding you or
Yeah.
anything. Just sort of.
This is probably the last thing I need to. That last thing I'll do, but then I have to head
Okay.
off regardless if the stream
Yeah.
continues.
Okay.
Because okay. So
So pick your biggest point,
okay.
basically.
I guess the biggest point was Sasuke. Well, okay. In many ways, Sasuke's actions in the Kage Summit. In many ways, it's kind of like the point of no return, really, because like you've just done all these horrible things, and basically, so you have like he also tried to eventually kill his teammates because, like, at this point, you can't really have Sasuke back in the village. There's just no way after all the actions that he's done here. He's become just too hostile towards the Leaf.
Do you think
So
in the
in my-
rewrite we mentioned earlier, where there's the much softer gradual change, so he's not going to kill the samurai, he's just going to knock him out and so on, everything else we said earlier, do you think that would still be too far gone for your taste, or do you think that would be like pretty solid?
I think he probably might. It could be that he's got too far gone, but it could be also signs of maybe drawing him back. I think, but I think the biggest issue is I don't think he could ever ever really stay in the Leaf Village after everything of learning like the Uchiha clan massacre and like also the probably hostility that some will now have towards him. At the very least. Naruto should probably change his goal, at least trying to save his friend, but realizing they can't really return to the village.
Well,
And
if
make
it makes you
things
feel
like
better,
before.
he's not exactly in the village in Boruto, I guess.
Yeah, no, but I don't know. I don't like the whole. I feel like the whole self-exile thing is kind of like I don't know. I don't think it's handled that well.
In my opinion, for the audience, I think they should leave it entirely up to Naruto's discretion. Whatever answer at the end of the arc was going to be our perception and view of Sasuke. If Naruto can forgive Sasuke, I've completely forgiven Sasuke because Naruto's saying it's not too late. We're rooting for Naruto. We're supporting Naruto. We want to see Naruto do what he wants. If hypothetically the exact same thing happens, Naruto gets there and he says, Sasuke, you've gone too far. You tried to kill your comrade. I'll never forgive you. Maybe not, I'll never forgive you, but like you've severed your bonds and I'll be the one to stop you. And something like that, they just go in that direction. Then I guess we're just forced to go with that route, which would be completely fine. But like for the immersiveness of the series, I feel like you have to leave it up to Naruto. Naruto said that he's not giving up. He'll never go back on his word. Sasuke's still his friend, despite everything that happened. And Naruto himself says he completely understands everything Sasuke's done up to this point. I feel like that's Kishimoto telling the audience that you need to feel that way for this story to work, and that he's going to continue operating under that hypothetical, regardless of what you would think would happen in universe, of like if he'd be accepted back or not, or the samurai or whatever. Naruto, the story, is saying that he's forgiven. I think the story comes before plot or world or anything like that. So I feel like that's the direction we're almost immersively forced into going down, which I don't think is a problem, in my opinion.
I'll also add that if you're gonna make this point, I do think it is very important to note that, like, in credence to what you just said, they did this already with other characters. For example, Zabuza. You are meant to like him and forgive things he's done, despite what he's done. Similarly,
Same with Gaara. Same with Gaara.
Gaara
Yep.
has killed a lot of people from his village, from other areas, and killed a lot of people. It was his whole way of life. And
But we
I don't
like
hear people complaining that Gaara was too far. God, nobody brings it up. They all love it. I think that should
which is
apply to
hilarious
Sasuke.
with Boruto, with Kawaki.
You know,
It's ridiculous.
it's just like
People should bring that
I'm
up.
like, how can you not be complaining about Gaara? If you're gonna complain about Sasuke,
Exactly.
Gar honestly
But I think
low-key worse.
But besides, to be fair, I think most people, to be fair, for most of Gaara's kills, most of them are people that are trying to assassinate him.
Not all
At least
of
from
them.
what we see.
That's not
Yeah,
not all of them.
not all of them, but most of the ones that we saw were mostly the people that were trying to kill him.
Not really.
But
I mean,
see, what you're doing is
even
what
like
Naruto
the
was
grass
doing for
ninja before the
Sasuke.
exam. They were just trying to get him to give up the fight. You just killed him.
Yeah, so you're saying that Gaara's actions are completely understandable, just like Naruto said for Sasuke? There you go.
Okay, no, arguably, no, killing is wrong regardless, I'd say.
Well, I will say, whereas you're right, and that applies to the Naruto world as well, the Naruto world is different, operating under different rules, to where different actions would just be perceived differently in the Shinobi world compared to our real world. I will throw that out there. I think in the Naruto world, Sasuke wouldn't be too far gone, whereas if Sasuke did what he did in our world, it's obvious he's too far gone. Yeah, he's going to jail forever.
Yeah.
Serial murderer.
I know. I think the biggest issue to me is the fact that I think this is one thing, is that the fact that the Uchiha clan massacre is never told to the public. It's like that is literally the reason why Sasuke is doing what he did. It's like, okay, you need to have some explanation of why Sasuke did what he did and why he needs to be pardoned. And frankly, the truth of the Uchiha clan massacre needs to sort of come out. Also, the fact that the elders need to be completely sacked from their job.
Oh, absolutely. Like, honestly, dude,
100%.
I stand by it. Like, they should have just had Sasuke kill the other two elders that are in Boruto. They do nothing good in Boruto. All they do is waste panels. They make every chapter worse they're in. Let's just have them die, just like Danzo. I don't care how. Have Sasuke kill them.
Or just don't have the elders at all. Just have it all be Danzo. Give everything the elders did to Danzo. There you go.
Like I said, there is only one scene. I've said this before in a different stream. There is only one scene where having the elders separate from Danzo was good. It's in the Pain arc when Tsunade's like holding up the collars and giving her speech and stuff. And then Danzo comes in and stabs the toad. It doesn't work as well with Danzo because Danzo's not going to... She can do it, but she's not just gonna leave Danzo behind to kill the toad. And it's just not gonna be the same. That's the only time it's relevant.
But even that's not a big deal at all. Like, if there just was no other elders and there just is only Danzo, we wouldn't be here complaining about it if the story did do that.
Yeah, like, she could just have the speech and then whatever. Maybe she just storms out. I don't know. However you make it work, you could just have it be Danzo, just change a couple of details. You don't need the elders.
Exactly.
And then you just rewrite, why is Danzo get Jiraiya to be Hokage? Because he doesn't want to look sus, whatever your reason is. Like,
yeah, sure. Plus, that means you get Danzo in part 1 instead of randomly introduced into Shippuden.
It's also weird how nobody else has the 3 advisors thing that Hiruzen had. Everyone just has one.
Yeah.
Tobirama's, Hashirama's. Tobirama, who knows if he had an advisor. Minato doesn't really seem to have an advisor, but that's less than 3. Hiruzen just has 3 for some reason. And then Tsunade has Shizune, and then kind of the elders, but she ignores them anyway. It's just everyone has one advisor. Like,
yeah.
So you don't need them. It's also just so random because it's like it's supposed to be Hiruzen versus Danzo, not Hiruzen versus elders. Just
now,
useless.
Something I will say is that if you think Sasuke has gone too far after 5 Kage Summit, well, you'll be happy to know Sasuke agrees with you, and he's gone on his journey of repentance and still hasn't forgiven himself.
Yeah, that's also
there you go.
I
feel like that's sort of taking accountability. Yeah.
Not to mention, there are some Boruto characters who seem to still not forgive Sasuke too. They're not glossing over it and making it seem like he is just the perfect
half
person.
the Boruto characters even know the stuff that Sasuke's done.
Yeah.
It's like it's never brought up, and it's like okay, some of them might know he was a rogue ninja, but they don't know exactly what he did.
Well,
even weirder than that,
they have a scene with Boruto and Sarada learning the truth. Like, to this day, we're begging for it. Like,
yeah, even then, almost no one's talking about the infinite Tsukiyomi that affected the whole world 16 years ago.
It's
like that should be talked about even more.
Never once mentioned in the manga. Only the anime briefly addresses it with Boro. It's the only time.
With Boro, yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, to be honest,
But,
I think this is to me shows how poorly planned the Boruto spin-off was.
Dude, it's like, yeah, I don't know. Kishimoto's trying to ignore as many Naruto details as possible while also low-key integrating them for nostalgia. For example, Ibiki.
Yeah. For no reason, bro. Ruined him.
Yeah, that's too
Well,
good.
anyway, I need to head off now because I only got because I am really late now.
Yeah, understandably. Again, sorry we started late.
It's no problem. Just don't do it next time.
Yeah, we gotta get
Yeah.
we gotta get about time in there.
Yeah. Anyway, bye for now.
Okay,
Alright.
see you. Oodie, do you want to keep
I'm-
going, especially if Immortal
Yes.
is able to listen?
Oh, is Immortal still here?
He's here but deafened. Before we could just message him.
Probably will leave at this point, but you could ask him. Oh, it is only 10:30. Dang, it's actually earlier than for us.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
Yeah,
I'm
we
fine
keep going,
either way.
especially if Immortal comes back. Yeah, that's fine then.
So what do we talk about?
Well, I would say either we keep doing some of our mini Naruto topics, or we switch over to Boruto. One or the other's fine.
Wait, what? Oh, I know what way to talk about.
What should we talk about?
Okay.
The photo to movie into manga canon. That one.
What?
Made the anime photo and movie into the manga canon.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think it already is in some regards. I think they should just do it more. Like, I understand Kamui saying, oh, well, the missed field trip arc is only mentioned. It's not like a plot point, unlike the Jogon. But, like, I think they could just do it anyways. I don't think it's a big deal.
They could do
Who cares
what?
about the manga?
So, but we'll do a full-on rewrite about how we to make gold into the manga canon.
Well, I wouldn't have the manga readapt it or anything. I would just have it exist. At least they talk about it. The character development's still there. They reference it, they can do flashbacks to it, whatever you want, I don't care.
Yeah,
Like, they don't have original flashbacks anyways.
First, is a role. There's so much backstory that the photo and really add to the union.
I mean, it's basically the same concept for what they did for Obito in his reveal. They just had unique original flashbacks that we had never seen before.
Yeah.
Like, if that was just anime filler, they could have just flashed back to that. I feel like no one would be complaining, but that, like, is Kamui's argument for why it would be bad. Can't do that because that ruins the manga.
No, it's different for the Jogon case because yeah, it's just not the same.
Why? Can you describe why?
So, like, okay, you're hypothetical.
Yeah, I'm pushing you on this one.
First of all, let's go back to the Obito example. Is there hypothetical that in the Kakashi Gaiden thing, you would just have, like, the tuning exams flashback just randomly in there, even though it has nothing to do with the Kanabe Bridge story? Let's start with that.
You not as a flashback, but you would see it, like, in real time, technically.
Yeah, so first of all, that would just make the Kakashi story there weird, but ignoring that, let's just assume there's just a
Wait,
separate...
why?
Because it's irrelevant to that story.
Well, no, the focus is on Obito. He's like the protagonist of that arc.
The tuning exams thing is just not really relevant to that story arc, but ignoring that, and just, I don't care if it's just a random episode of Kakashi's tuning.
Okay.
Kakashi
Then the tuning
exams
exams are irrelevant anyways to Obito's mask reveal. What does Guy beating Obito have to do with Obito's mask reveal? Nothing. It's irrelevant. It's the same argument.
I know, but the difference is Obito's reveal is literally just showing us Obito, just scenes of Obito in the past, whereas the Kakashi Gaiden one is following a specific story arc. So essentially, Obito's reveal is just meant to be a montage of images of Obito. That's all it is. So, but ignoring
okay, but then again, your argument there should be that flashback montage is worthless. There's no point. It's not following a story.
No, because I just gave you the difference. It's seeing Obito. That is the purpose. That is not the Kakashi Gaiden story.
Well, we're
However-
seeing Obito in real time. Why do we don't need a flashback to see him. He's right there.
Because we need to see the past Obito, but regardless, if you just stop...
Why?
Oodie, it doesn't matter, because I'm gonna solve the problem if you let me finish.
Doesn't
as I'm
matter.
trying to
Okay, go ahead.
We'll just have the Kakashi Chunin exams filler episode. Whenever. There you go.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
roll it out. Okay.
Okay, even
In
then,
that case-
you present it from Kakashi's perspective, then when we get it in the manga, we get it from Obito's
Okay,
perspective.
okay.
That's not only making it canon, but adding to the filler by showing it from a different perspective. That's
Yes.
cool.
No, so here's...
Basically what they did with Naruto and Sasuke at the end of Shippuden with Sasuke's retrospective analysis of a whole Naruto story from his perspective.
Yeah, so what I'm getting at is in the case of this Chunin exams, one, again, two things. One, as you've already addressed, what is the point with that Obito reveal chapter? Literally just seeing scenes of Kid Obito. That's really the point. It is not, like, the Chunin exams, the fact that Obito lost to my guy is not a major plot point. It is
Well,
not
but hang
a
on. But,
story beat.
wait,
It's
wait,
nothing.
wait.
It's just Obito as a kid,
Yeah.
immersing scenes. That is
But
distinctly
you're just
different
saying
from the
what
joke.
they're you're just saying what they're doing and saying it's the point, but that's lacking the point. What's
No,
the point of just
the-
showing Kid Obito?
Yeah, that is the point. The fact that it is in the Chunin exams in particular is completely irrelevant. It could have
Okay,
been
okay,
any
that's
other
fine, that's fine.
scene.
Let me ask you like this, since I don't think I'm making it clear. Why is that the point? Why are they showing Kid Obito?
So we can see, it's just the before, basically the before and after. It's just like Kakashi.
Okay,
like,
there you
is
go.
getting-
That's the point.
Kakashi's getting the, like, essentially reliving Obito's past that he experienced with him when he sees. It's almost like what am I trying to think of? I can't think of the.
Do you think that those
There's a-
flashbacks were from Kakashi's perspective? Or that Kakashi was the one flashing back, I should say? Or do you think that was from Obito? Or do you think that was just for the audience and neither of them were flashing back at that moment?
Either
That's like a
for
genu-
the
that's not
audience-
pushing against you.
Either for the
genuine
audience or Kakashi's perspective. I personally prefer Kakashi's perspective. And there's a
Interesting.
Oh, I remember the example. Okay, this
I
is my
figured you would
example.
have preferred Obito's perspective, considering your idea of Obito and the whole delusion mask
No,
stuff.
because to me it's more. I like. So the example I was going to compare it to is actually Gojo when he sees Geto in Shibuya. Something similar to that. He sees Obito's face and then he flashes back to
Okay.
all these memories. That's
Well,
how
but I'm
it's
thinking,
like that.
if anything, it'd be like foreshadowing for your interpretation of when Obito's thinking of the flashbacks later on. He's like, why am I thinking of this now? And then Naruto sees it, and et cetera, et cetera.
That definitely works.
I think that would be like good foreshadowing, at least.
I agree with that. I just kind of, I think I just like it being from Kakashi's perspective. I just like the idea. Not
Okay.
that it really matters,
That's
but
fine.
regardless, regardless of the whose perspective of it is, it's just like we're getting the memories of Obito. That is just the point. The fact that it's the Chunin exams versus walking in old lady or whatever doesn't really matter. The point is just it's Obito with his friends, most specifically Kakashi. That's the point. And it's nothing more than that. And if it's just a reference to a Chunin exams filler, whatever, that's cool. It's not the same as the fucking joke on being the star of hope that saves the world. It's not comparable. One is
Obito
an
almost
essential
saved the world.
plot point that gets you to save the world, most likely has some narrative thematic tie-in as well with the whole Star of Hope prophecy stuff. The other is just
Obito was my star of hope.
that's awesome, dude. But the fact that he lost the guy in the Chunin exams is probably not the reason why. So,
Well, my
can
guy's
see
a
why,
planet,
like,
huh?
saying it's not the same. Like,
Well, whatever.
now I'm gonna offer you a different one. So okay, so you know how in Naruto Part 1 they make in the Idate arc, like Sasuke's reason for being mad is because he lost to Aoi Rokusho when Naruto won.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
hypothetically, if in the manga, like during the Sasuke Retrieval arc manga adaptation, when Naruto catches up to Sasuke or something, or in the hospital bed, one or the other. The point is, if the timing worked out for this, obviously the manga was way ahead. Hypothetically, they flash back to that scene from the anime, and it's the reason Sasuke is leaving for Orochimaru, then yes, we're gonna call it out, because it makes no sense.
Well, no, okay. To be fair,
that one's
to
actually
that
less
anime
bad,
arc.
though. That one's less bad, though, because they're giving us the reason and they're flashing back and showing it versus randomly introducing a power that didn't exist and pretending it was always still not as bad.
Okay, so I obviously I think Itachi is a better reason to leave. That being said, I do think in the story, what the anime does flows better for Sasuke's reason to leave.
No, I agree with that.
Okay,
It's like the straw that broke the camel's back. Even though it shouldn't be like that way, it works, and I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I still think even that idea wouldn't be as bad as this joke on hypothetical. I prepared myself for it, but like I said, I've got my conditions. I've got my conditions. If you're gonna do this joke on bullshit, you better do the Joshin stuff. I got my, I'll compromise.
No, that would.
So okay. As a hypothetical, what did you think about Sarada's 3 Tomoe Sharingan Chidori against Boro reveal? Because that started from the novels, which tells you that the manga isn't a self-contained story.
So I'll say 2 things with that one. One, the fact that she had a 3 Tomoe was irrelevant. It was just there. It was like the fact that it's 3 Tomoe versus anything does not matter, which makes it much less bad. That being said, kind of a missed opportunity to not have her awaken the 3 Tomoe during the Boro fight or whatever, because that was a big moment for Sasuke. Why not give it to Sarada?
Yeah.
So
well, that's just the novel being bad, but the point is the manga isn't being self-contained in favor of keeping the overarching story of Boruto consistent.
Yeah, but like I said, I'd rather just have. It's not the novel being bad. It's just that I just would have wished that the manga had its own thing, like the anime is supposedly gonna do maybe one day in a billion years. It's just why not? And honestly, the easiest one is to just have it be during the Boro fight for whatever reason. Maybe it's when she becomes the leader. That's when she gets it. Whatever you want to do with it, just have her do it during the Boro fight. Easy peasy. During the out fight, I don't care. Just do it.
Okay.
I think the Boro fight is a good one for her, though. It's so easy and it works.
Yeah.
Let's just say Boruto does in fact have some of Shibai's, power or DNA inside of him, which could be. Do you think that could be a somewhat of a good explanation as to why Momoshiki isn't able to manifest his full appearance, or
no? The terrible explanation. All it does is address the horn.
It addresses the horn, but what about why Boruto can't use a Rinnegan in his hands, or doesn't have any of those black karma inking all over his face?
Well, it doesn't seem like it's fused Momoshiki anyway. We see base Momoshiki. That's already weird, but ignoring that.
But it's kind of also weird that this is reverted Momoshiki back to his base, but I don't know.
But with the horns broken still.
Yeah. Imagine if he still can go into his fused state.
Maybe
that would be very.
We don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Do you think it would make sense at that given point, or do you just think it will,
I think it's something that would only be relevant once he's reincarnated, which he'll never do anyway. I think his power is the same regardless in terms of what's in the karma seal.
So you think he'll never?
His normal form. I don't think he can power up within karma into fuse. I don't think that's gonna do anything. It's just at this point.
So
he's already strong enough.
You think
it would make sense?
Yeah.
To do that.
You think a chakra fruit might be able to evolve him further?
Well, of course. That's
make him
give chakra fruit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So you think he's gonna need a chakra fruit just to probably regain that appearance, or maybe just don't worry about it at all? I don't think that's gonna ever come back.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
What do you think, Oodie?
Because
am I cutting out? Am I good?
I don't. Well, now you're good.
yeah,
You guys are cutting out for me. Both of you. And it seems like
you're
Well, you're cutting out for us.
You're cutting out.
That's for sure.
Okay. Well, I'm back home anyways. Guess I'll just join back on my computer. You guys talk for a little bit, I guess.
Okay. So what was your?
Oh, Kamui, you cut out again.
God, what was your question again?
Okay, so should Momoshiki still have access to his fused form, even as a spirit as of right now?
It all depends on a lot of factors, but like it's
Kamui?
how is it cutting out so much? That doesn't make sense.
No idea.
At this, I don't remember what I said. I feel like no at this point. That's all I remember.
I was thinking what a fused Borushiki would look like.
They'll never do that. I'm confident in that.
But just imagine if they did.
It would be goofy. You have his hair grow longer. He'd grow a second horn, and he just. Well, he already has black markings, so I don't think there's any point in the other black markings.
I just thought that maybe like a fused Borushiki would make Boruto more powerful than he already was.
But I don't think he'll do that. I think he either probably already has that power, or if not, then he's strong enough without it. Because if he got that level of an amp on stage, he would be too strong. Like, it wouldn't make sense. Unless
He'll be too overpowered.
Is gonna be that this actually could work, sort of, if so that he wasn't actually stronger than Jigen in the Code Arc, or even relative, and that's why he's even with Boruto, and then the fused would even out with Kawaki's amp. Unless you're gonna go that route, problem is Boruto's base already evens out that, so that he would just still be too strong.
Since Boruto is already like at a Jigen level caliber,
Way beyond that.
if you give him fused,
yeah.
probably way beyond that. If you give him fused, that'll just be like beyond Ishiki.
Yeah, way beyond.
Oh my goodness.
Wouldn't work.
Oh my goodness.
So it's just, like, he's already got, as it is, just the regular karma amp he has would be more than enough. So you're making 8 stars too much.
I'm still waiting to see how powerful Kawaki is going to be. Because, bro, in the time skip, we see that Kawaki is just entered in his karma state. But if we go into like his horn state, do you think the horns actually add on to the power or multiplies it, or it just doesn't, or it's not really anything, doesn't really add on to anything?
The karma seal. Like the way I like to compare it is with the Biju transformations. You have like the one-tail cloak. Oh my god, this plate's hot. Jesus. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to make multiple trips here. Tail cloak, like the version 1 cloak. That's just like regular karma 1. And then you have version 2 with the red skin and stuff. That's the horn. And then Biju mode would be like when Ishiki resurrected.
So, if Momoshiki were to fully possess Boruto, do you think that would be like a Karma V3 type of state, or just like a resurrected Momoshiki state?
Not anymore. It would just be what we got before, like just normal Code Arc Borushiki. He's not getting a new. It's gonna be at this point. It wouldn't make any sense if they did that. What the hell was Gibby doing there? They're just, lurking. Anyway, I don't know how long he's gonna be. Forgot what I was gonna say earlier. All right, let's go to the next topic. Okay, here we'll go with this. Based solely on Koji's reaction to Ishiki compared to Jura, who do you think is stronger, Ishiki or Jura?
Ishiki or Jura?
Full power Ishiki, I'll say. Like if he got Kawaki's body.
Yeah. But then they're kind of setting up Jura to be something stronger. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not saying Jura is going to win.
The problem is they set up both to be a world-ending threat that no one can stop.
For Jura, like in the recent, like in chapter 16, they said that if anyone pisses off Jura, there will be absolutely no way anyone can win.
Yeah, and similarly, Amado said that if Ishiki gets Kawaki's body, it's just there's no way you'll win.
So it's like, okay, now you're basically telling me that there is indeed like a parallel between Jura and Ishiki.
Yeah, they're just both too strong.
It's just that one is a Notsuki, the other one's a Ten Tails.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay. So I don't know what to say about this. I mean, here's the thing. I would say since a Ten Tails does primarily eat Notsuki to become a god tree. And I don't know if this is the case for Boruto and Kawaki, since they're the only living remaining Otsutskis on Earth at this given point. So, I mean, I don't know. Would you count Jura beating Kawaki as a good level to scale him at, or no?
No, because we don't know how much Kawaki wasn't going full power, and we don't have confirmation of when he was limited either to fully.
Yeah.
He would need to be in the horn state anyway to really say. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna wait until Kawaki gets his limiters removed, and just like Code did. The only difference is I get the feeling that Kawaki might actually be able to do a lot more than Code, because they're kind of setting him up to be, the apostle of destruction that we saw in chapter 1.
Actually, that reminds me, I had a topic on this. So,
yeah.
Did Koji tell Boruto to tell Kawaki about Amado's limiters, or did Boruto just go off script and do that on his own?
It has to be Koji. The 10 directions has to be the answer towards how Boruto was able to.
Koji could have told him about the limiters, but did Koji tell Boruto to tell Kawaki?
Yeah, they landed on this backside right here.
Because Koji made it seem like only Boruto and Ada were supposed to know, not Kawaki.
I think that could probably be Boruto doing a little bit of reconnaissance, maybe with the toads, but I don't think,
Like, what if
maybe
Koji
the toad
didn't want him to do this and he just told him anyway?
Yeah. I mean, as of right now, Koji pretty much is with the future sight that Koji has. I'm not saying he's going to be like near I don't think it doesn't really make him near omniscient, but it does give him sorry, my nose is stuffed up. More than enough knowledge for him to be prepared for a lot of scenarios. And that's the thing. So I don't know whether or not oh my goodness, I'm trying to pick out something right now.
Yeah, I'm covering for y'all.
What were you saying, Immortal?
Yeah, I guess might as well.
What I would say is I believe that Koji would probably have somewhat of an information on you know, what Kawaki needs to do to unlock his limiters. But who knows? I don't know.
It doesn't. That's why.
Oh, Oodie's back.
I was about to say, like, how long does it take us in the setup?
Yeah.
So
Took
do
a
you
little
think?
bit. That's okay.
So do you think at this given moment Kawaki is probably going down to Amado to get his limiters removed, or do you think they're gonna wait until the right moment to do something like that?
Oh.
Well, first, did you want my context on any of the previous topics?
Yeah. So we'll go with. Okay. The first one was your based off. Where'd you put it?
I thought
Okay. Well, the question was based off Koji's words, reactions only. Jura or Ishiki? Who's stronger?
Oh, did you do that one?
Yeah. Oh, here it is.
Oh, well, I wish I was there for that one.
Well, you're here
I
now.
don't want to restart that one now instead of just giving my take, because it's like it's fun, I think, because again we're going solely based on that and nothing else. So we have technically 3 different instances to look at, maybe 4 if you count 2 for Jura, but the 2 for Ishiki would be in real time when Koji's fighting against Ishiki, or Jigen and then Ishiki, I should say, and then his like change in demeanor or lack thereof from Koji, and then after the fact when he's thinking back on the fight, explaining to Boruto in real time that he apparently, despite how he was acting on his exterior, his interior is like, yeah, Ishiki, the tremendous power, I could never fathomably stand up to him. But then you get Jura, it's the 1 in a million chance, the impossible chance to stop him. It's the future. It's the worst possible future. All that, I think, is really interesting. Of who do you think would be seen as stronger based on those interactions? Everything you've seen.
I also, earlier when you were here, added in Amado's words to make this more interesting. So Koji says in some of the translations, there's just no chance if Jura gets mad. Similarly, Amado said, if Ishiki resurrects in Kawaki's body instead of Jigen, there is no chance of winning. You lose. So they both are just too strong for the world.
Yeah. But okay, I'm curious what answers you guys gave, considering all this. Again, if we're only considering that.
So
it's fun, I think. I thought it was fun. I was excited for this one too.
I honestly just don't know who to pick. Like, it feels like Jura's stronger, but like tactically you could argue that like the Ishiki and Kawaki's body would be stronger, but maybe they're just perfect equals.
I mean, the thing is that I completely get that Ishiki is the unfathomable power. I feel like if Koji confronted Jura, he wouldn't see Jura like that, even if Jura defeated him in the same way.
What would you see Jura like?
I don't know, Jura's like fast and strong or whatever. I feel like he just doesn't have that like same tremendously powerful aura. And I don't even mean in terms of like menacingness, even just like, I don't know, chakra. I'm sure Jura has tons of chakra, but like, I don't know. It just feels like
Jura just is nicer.
had a stronger presence. Yeah, that as well. Like, I feel like Jura wouldn't care. If anything, Ishiki cared, which I think added to his strength because of his like scare factor probably there.
Yeah, like he wanted to diss on Koji, whereas
true.
Jura would just be like,
yeah.
Have you read the latest Ichi series book?
Stupid. But yeah, so that's what I think. Plus the fact that Jura just straight up like totally wants to get rid of Boruto's ally, whereas Ishiki wanted to like toy around with him first just because he's sinister and cruel and wanted to be mean and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I would agree with that if I had to pick.
Okay. Immortal, what was your answer?
I'm sorry. What was that?
What was your answer to who you think is stronger based on Koji's explanation? Ishiki or Jura?
Well, they're both world-ending threats. I give it to Ishiki.
Okay, so we're all going the same way.
Yeah. Interesting.
Speaking of Koji, though.
Okay.
The other topic.
Real quick. I know that the 1 in a million chance for Jura was like a mistranslation anyways, or at least that's what it seems to be. Let's assume it is, or that it's not. Either way, let's assume we're going with that. So there is, based on prescience, there is a 1 in a million chance to defeat Ishiki. Of every millionth possible future, one of them, they just do beat Ishiki. What do you think the odds would have been if he saw the chances for... Oh, no, I was saying for Ishiki, I meant Jura. What do you think the odds would have been for Ishiki compared to Jura? So if it's 1 in a million for
1 in a million because we got it.
Yeah.
But granted, though, that's not Ishiki and Kawaki's body, to be fair. That's Ishiki and Jigen's body, so... But that's actually a good point. If it's 1 in a million in that case, then I don't know, man. Maybe it is worse.
I don't know. Well, there you go. So there's that. And the one you were doing before that, was there one before that, or was it just the Boruto Karma?
So the other one was kind of a goofy, quick one. Just, I guess, Boruto tells Kawaki about how Amado has limiters on him, blah, 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 and tells him to go see Amado. Did Koji tell Boruto to do that for Kawaki? Or did Koji just tell Boruto about the limiters, and then Boruto on his own decided to tell Kawaki?
I mean, it should be Koji, but at the same time, it makes no sense for it to be Koji, because if Koji's seeing in the future that the only way is if Boruto and Kawaki team up, why did he wait till now? He would have just done this immediately.
Not only that, but it's definitely set up, at least, that Koji doesn't seem like he wants Kawaki to live, first off. Second, he says how only Boruto and Ada and him are the singularities of fate. So he's not telling anyone else. Meanwhile, Boruto's telling Kawaki things in the future, like making him a singularity of fate.
Yeah. So then the problem is, well, how did Boruto find out if not through Koji?
So Koji had to have told them the
fuck
fact. The question is whether he told him to tell Kawaki.
Why
would he tell him the fact if it's not to tell Kawaki? That's the thing.
I could imagine that Ikimoto's just giving Boruto the knowledge so he could tell Kawaki. It just has it by default automatically. Or maybe he just somehow knows that Amado did something. He can just tell, he can see the limiters, he can feel them.
No, but the problem is Boruto is saying, like, you in the future tell Amado to you go to Amado for power because of these limiters. So it's like he knows that Kawaki does the thing. So it's gotta be Koji.
Okay, yeah.
Where the hell did they go?
Yeah. That's fair.
Oh, they're rezzing right on top.
It's just weird anyways. I don't know why he would say that. Like, just say
this is a little random.
Give him the idea without telling him he does it.
Yeah. True.
But yeah.
We also don't know if Kawaki went to Amado because he knew about the limiters, or because he just wanted power and then Amado just undid the limiters.
Oh, why am I stuck on this thing?
I feel like there was stuff to say on the Boruto Momoshiki Karma Still Shenanigans nonsense that I never got to. But I don't remember what I was gonna say before I was cutting out, or what you guys were saying before then. If you remember.
I don't remember either. Well, I definitely don't remember what you were gonna say before you got out. For obvious reasons.
Well,
we can just start from the top. Just go over why it makes sense. Okay. Do we have any topics on it in here?
I don't think so. I mean, I almost just want to go back and stream to listen what was being said. In fact, you know what? Yeah, it'll probably be easy to find it because I could just do that. If you want to read chat, I'll do that really quick. So I'll definitely be able to figure it out.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Well, I don't know how far back we were. But real quick, there was one. Okay, yeah. Can anyone explain to me why Sasuke got 2 summon animals and Naruto only got 1? So I said Naruto gets a fox, XD, and he also obviously has the toad. So that's his second animal. Hello says, I have a theory that Kishimoto might stop by the Illuminati because he showed a lot of spirituality and religion stuff. I don't think they're gonna have the Illuminati in Boruto. I mean, I guess Joshin's the closest thing to that with the triangle. AE doubts something. And that's all the latest chat messages we haven't read. And I don't know how long you're gonna take, so in the meantime. Oh, okay, what's something that okay, I gotta find one of my topics then so that I don't ask you a question.
Okay. Well, is that all we wanted to do for tonight?
Well, obviously no, but obviously yes.
The obviously there on both of those is perfect. Okay, well, with that being said, Space, I'm glad that you said that you'll do our outro for us. Go ahead, Space, take it away. The floor is yours. Take the stage, Space. Thank you, Space.
We
in
heard
advance.
your laugh.
Go ahead. Yeah, please.
Immortal?
Whenever you're ready, take your time, but you've been taking your time, so whenever is now.
Space. We'll have a 1-minute segment about My Hero if you do it.
Whatever topic you want.
I am not even about. Well, I know you yourself are not about MHA. I would like to think not. I think there's more to you than that. But what we're saying is we'll do a 1-minute segment if you do the outro. Well, he unmuted for a brief second there.
Come on, Space, think about it. You'll get to say that we failed as podcasters. That's
or
part of it.
Or whatever you want to say. Just outroify.
Yeah.
Mortal, if you would like to do the outro, feel free to jump in.
I hope you enjoyed that part. The Right Time part today.
And that was
what? No call to action? Okay.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Yeah, Space. You haven't told the guests to leave yet.
Yeah, what is the audience supposed to do?
Good night.
Okay, but should they be
That's
watching while they have a good night?
I think they already were having a good night. Continue to do what they're doing.
Yeah. Just keep
but
watching.
Our state of change is changing. Yeah, I don't know. Should they like or subscribe or something? Maybe even comment or share the video if they enjoyed it? Typing. He's hating us right now.
Well,
not unmuting
Space.
Okay.
You're only getting 30 seconds of MHA for that half outro. Real quick.
Okay, Space, what topic? We could reach out as well, which would be good.
Well, Space doesn't give a shit.
I guess that
Space,
answers that.
I'm glad you're not giving people shit. Jonathan Olivier says, talk about how Naruto need a rewrite. Boruto is the best manga. Oodie, thoughts? It's the best.
So my thoughts on that comment is the fact that Jonathan Oliver is a freaking liar, bro. He doesn't have any exams going on. I refuse to believe anywhere in the world is having school exams on Thanksgiving break. It's a freaking cat, bro. He's lying. He's watching the podcast.
Yeah,
he just
like,
doesn't want to
especially when
join,
he's
even though he
watching the
says he's
stream.
going to. He's trolling. Yeah. Freaking nonsense. Wasn't he in the audience earlier too?
I'm not sure, but what's funny though is, Jonathan, we were doing Naruto rewrite topics earlier on stream. We did that. It's like he only appears for whenever we're critiquing Boruto. He's never there when we praise it.
His spider senses are tingling.
Yeah. He's like, I have a strong suspicion they're hating on Kishimoto.
He sneezed the wrong way. He had to look us up.
Yeah. In other news, though, Martin Silva says Kishimoto, let's just say Ikimoto at this point, has to decide if Himawari ends up with Damon, Kawaki, or Inojina. I like how he includes Kawaki. I don't want Kawaki.
Oh my god.
Himawari. That's just weird.
Man, if people on Twitter are complaining about the 2-year age gap, imagine if Kawaki did it.
The adopted sibling. I don't know what their laws are in Japan, but hopefully there's a law against that one. I don't think Naruto would just approve. Yeah, you can date your sister.
Well, especially not anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows what Kawaki will do to his family members.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone so much for watching. We've walked, and I definitely walked for what, like 4 hours? How long is this podcast?
The audience was talking, especially Jonathan and Olivia.
There you go.
And you know, we failed.
Let's call me something else then. We failed.
I like that as the ending from that one. Just we failed.
We failed. So happy go lucky too.